Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to NorthStar. Today in this very first lecture for CPA bar paper, I would like to invite you and congratulate you all for choosing to pursue your CPA with NorthStar. I can assure you this journey is going to be one of the most exciting time that you have spent in educating, upskilling and taking your career to a complete new level. I'll be your mentor, your guide, your lecturer, your faculty for the bar subject. And at the very beginning, let me tell you, if you have chosen bar, you have done one of the finest thing that you can do out of all the elective papers. A lot of students ask me, which is the best elective paper? I, without any hesitation, would always recommend you bar. Not that the other papers are not good, but bar is exciting, practically simple, because you will be able to correlate things that you learn here, and most of the chapters, the topics that are covered here, most except one section which is about government accounting, all the others are not going to be new to you. If you have studied costing, if you have studied finance sometime in your life, I'm sure you must have studied, you are going to find it easy. But there is a word of caution. When you find something's really easy, you start taking it for granted, and that is where mistake can happen. So almost 60% of the entire bar subject is going to be something, 60 to 70% is going to be something that you have already studied sometime in your life, and that makes the entire paper the easiest among all the other electives. If you look at ISC, it's going to be overall new for you. If you look at TCP, it is going to be completely new for you. So the edge here with your previous learning is definitely with bar. But I would repeat the word of caution here. The moment you find something, simple because you've already studied, you start taking it casually. And there is where mistake can happen. I want you all to take it very seriously from the very beginning, not because this is simple, but because this is possibly one of the topic that you can crack with, with simple preparation, with dedication, commitment, and not so much of struggle that may be required in other papers. All right. So discipline is required, commitment is required, and going beyond what we already know, that is something is required. The exam pattern, the exam preparation, the level of understanding in CPA is definitely very different compared to what we have been doing all through our lives with our, with our other forms of examination, including, your graduation, your BCom, MCom, MBA. These are very different. Here, the entire stress of the learning is on conceptual clarity and understanding. Is it going to be difficult? Answer is no, it is not going to be difficult as long as we are extremely focused around the concept and not around, memorizing around any other of those aspects. It should be purely around conceptual clarity and understanding, which from the very beginning I am going to be stressing upon. Will I be going as per the sequence of your bar syllabus? Answer is certainly not. I'm not going to be going as per the sequence we have done, the first chapter, the second chapter, the third chapter. No, we are not going to be doing like that. In all my lectures, I'm going to mix one practical topic with one theoretical topic so that we remain excited, we remain committed, and we don't park all the theory together, which may sometimes become little boring to continue. Alright, so to ensure that we are committed through and through, there will be always a mixture of practical and a theoretical topic. Practical topic, I want you to be always focused around it, because once we have done any practical topic, it just requires a very basic revision and a lot of practice. Because entire concept, entire formula, everything, end-to-end thing I'll be telling you in the class. I'll ensure that all of you memorize all of these without using the power of your memory. I'll be telling you concepts behind every formula, logic behind every formula, so that we don't have to resort to memory to start memorizing or to remember those formulas. It will all be conceptual, it will all be logical, because that way you will be able to analyze things much better through conceptual clarity. So first thing, the stress is always on conceptual clarity and understanding the subject than on memorizing simple things in your session. Whether it is finance, whether it is costing, it is always going to be around conceptual clarity. How to remember the formula, because there will be so many formulas that we'll be looking at don't worry. How to remember the formula, that entirely is on me. You should only be spending time how to forget the formula. You try forgetting the formula, I will ensure that you're just never able to forget those formula. That's my challenge. That's my promise to you. All that you have to do is ensure that you are always attending the lectures without fail. In case you have missed any of the lectures, it is your responsibility to ensure that you go back and revise those lectures before you come for the next class, because the entire finance and your costing part of your syllabus is going to be extremely interlinked. The way I'll be teaching you, it's all going to be beautifully interlinked, which means if you have missed any of the lectures and if you come to the next lecture without revising what was done or without watching the lectures that you missed, you are going to find the next lectures difficult. So do not do this, and ensure that you are regular, because attending me live is always going to be very smooth, and we are not just going to be studying, we are going to have a lot of fun through the journey. And like I always say, come to the class, let's have fun. In the process, you will learn everything. In the process, you will pass the exam, and in the process, you will become a CPA without you realizing how the entire time went by together. Let's make classroom very engaging, very interactive, and I will be keeping all of you muted in the class, not because I don't want you to speak, but because I am sitting in a professionally built studio. Most of you, or in fact none of you, must be sitting in a professional studio, which means the moment you unmute yourself, there will be a lot of background noise from your kitchen, noise from your living room, noise from TV, music system, or a lot of background noise may come, and it will disturb the entire flow of lectures. So to ensure that we do not get disturbed, will be all of you would be muted in the class, but in case you want to talk anything, your comment section is always open, and you can join, you can write in the comment section. All right, you can write in the comment section, and we will be I'll be there always to answer you. All right, I'll be there always to answer you in the class. So whatever you have written, most likely your question will be answered without you having to repeat. But in case there are a question that I have not been able to answer, do not worry, I will answer them at the right time. So many of the times it happens that you have asked a question but I have not addressed that question immediately. That does not mean that I have not read. It means we are, reaching that particular area where this question will become much more relevant. All right. You do not hesitate to repeat your question in case I have actually missed your question, and I will still, get back to you, answer them at the appropriate time. All right. So all your questions will be answered. Do not hold yourself back from asking as many questions as you want, but 99% of the time, whatever question you may have in mind, it will all get answered throughout the session. All right, without even you having to ask those questions. All right, because the subject bar may be new, but whatever is covered in bar is not new to me at all. All right, costing, finance, all these are something that I've been doing over almost most part of my life. So this subject may be new, but these chapters, whatever is covered in it, are certainly not new to me. Second thing is, was this entire bar paper always there in the CPA syllabus? Answer is what do you think? What do you think? Is this bar a new paper? Answer is no, not at all. This entire subject is not new at all. This entire subject was covered in the old syllabus of CPA also, just that it was covered in different papers. For example, the entire government accounting was covered in the FAR paper, the entire costing, the entire finance part of it was covered in the BC paper. So most of the bar paper is coming from the old BC paper. Was BC paper one of the most scoring paper? Answer is yes. BC paper had one of the highest passing percentage and one of the most scoring paper in the syllabus. So continuing with the same trend, I assume that bar paper will also continue to have one of the highest passing percentage and one of the most scoring paper. That is another reason why I always recommend people to take bar, because first, let's pass the exam beautifully in style, and then in case you want to get specialized into taxation, you can always study tax later after passing the exam. ISC paper, TC paper is still available. You can study information technology in case you have passion for technological world from the finance and from the CPA perspective. you can do that later. But first, the most important part is always passing the exam. All right, and there is where our entire focus is always going to be. Now, coming back to the syllabus, what is the weightage of the syllabus in the exam? Answer is all the core paper or elective paper has equal weightage. Whether you take bar, whether you take TCP, whether you take ISC, as a CPA, it does not make you any different. So just because you have chosen a particular selective, that does not make you a different type of a CPA or a CPA with different type of different standing. It all makes you a CPA, a world-class CPA, without any differentiation. So don't think that tomorrow, if you have taken this paper and not that paper, employers may look upon you differently. Answer is no, not at all. It does not work like that. All right. So there will be no discrimination or distinction amongst the employer, no matter which elective have you chosen or which state you have opted for your CPA journey. It's just only and only to pass the exam. Once you have passed the exam, it does not make any difference whatsoever. Another reason bar looks great to me because of the number of papers or number of chapters. There are just 5 chapters in the bar paper. That does not make it lesser than TCP or ISC, which is also having very similar number of papers. But I think considering that 60% of it is something that definitely it makes it little easier than learning everything from the scratch about which you have no clue, no idea. Coming back to the combination of this chapter in terms of theory and practical, in my opinion, it is almost 50-50 or maybe 60-40, where 60 is the practical part of it and 40 is the theoretical part of it. Theoretical can be a little boring because this theory is something that we are going to be studying for the first time, particularly the government accounting, because no part of government accounting is covered in Indian. So this part is going to be fairly new for all of us. Is it difficult? Answer is no. It is very easy. And like I said, it is not something new that we are studying in CPA. It was there earlier in FAR paper. From FAR paper, some of the topics of government accounting has been moved. Majorly, it is still lot less than what was required to be studied just a year back. So government accounting syllabus is also reduced for you and just forms one particular section of the CPA bar syllabus. All right, I'll take you through the entire bar paper so that we all become comfortable how much we are required to be studying, how are we going to be going about it, what is the timeline that it is going to take, when will the classes be, what is required to be what is expected out of you, how many hours of study should you be committing yourself to ensure that the entire bar goes very smoothly. All this I will be taking you through. But first, let me take you through the bar syllabus. So this is the first topic or first section. Section 1, risk management and economic analysis. Now this section 1, is going to be fairly new for you. For those who have already passed the CMA exam, for them this topic or this section will be, you will be little familiar with this, but otherwise for most of you this section would be fairly new for you. Enterprise risk management frameworks, this is broadly covered in the CMA syllabus. Financial risk management is something that sometime in life you must have gone through, not a very complicated topic. Enterprise risk management framework is it's overall theoretical. Difficult? Answer is no, it is not difficult. Market influences on business, again theoretical. Then international business operation, completely theoretical. Then we have economic effect of significant transactions. Broadly, the first section, all right, risk management and economic analysis, is fairly a pure theoretical topic, little dry. So what are we going to be doing? We are going to always mix modules from this with other modules, one practical module, one theoretical module, so that we take it through very smoothly. All right, so this is broadly the first topic. There are hardly any major very confusing difficult thing to be covered in this entire section. Coming back to the next section, financial management. I am sure none of you can tell me that you have never studied finance, right? Finance is something that you must have already always studied. So this entire section is something that we are all very familiar with. Capital structure, a very simple, a very easy topic that we are going to be studying. Beautiful topic because we are going to practically understand how practical structure is important to create wealth for the shareholders. Beautiful topic. Then we talk about working capital management, another very important topic that is not something new for any of you. We must have already studied at some point in time the entire capital, the working capital management of a company. Then we have financial valuation method. This is going to be little new. Some of the concepts of financial valuation is going to be new and unlikely that many of you must have covered this. Then we have financial decision models, again a little new. Then we have marginal analysis, which is nothing new. We have already studied, you know, marginal costing, marginal analysis, CVP analysis, variable costing, absorption costing, variable costing. You know, I'm sure all of us have studied sometime in our college days. It is exactly the same. In fact, the concepts are not new. Concepts are something that we are already aware of. So broadly, there can be two topics in this chapter. You know, the third one and the fourth one that can be new. Otherwise, fairly the first, second and fifth one is something that we already know. All right. When I say already know, means the concepts we already know. All right. Something, of course, there will be new things inside, but overall, broadly, the concepts we already know. Then we have the third chapter, operations management. Now, as the name suggests, operation management, that does not mean the basic, you know, core operations we are doing. We are doing operations from the costing perspective. So we talk about cost accounting, something that I'm sure all of you know. It is going to be interesting because it's completely practical. Then we have performance management, a mix of you know, theoretical concept with a little of practical understanding. Then we have projection and forecasting techniques. Now this is going to be little critical for those of you who hate statistics. If you do not like statistics, do not play with numbers, mathematics, statistics is something that is not your you know, first preference, then you may have little challenge with this topic. But don't worry, I'll take you through the basics of it. Why these techniques, what is the logic, what are we trying to achieve from these techniques, what are the formulas, all of it will be going very slowly and covering at length. So whether you love statistics, do not love statistics, it's okay. I will ensure that we all understand all of this beautifully. Then we have budgeting, very interesting, very exciting and very simple topic that we are going to go deeper, understand the different kinds of budgeting, why budgeting is done, and of course understand some analysis technique in budgeting. Then we have financial statement analysis, very beautiful topic, lot of formulas, lot of ratios, equations, you know, to be memorized. But like I always say, we are not going to be trusting memory at all. Not even a single formula I will ever ask you to memorize. There is a logic, there's a concept, and we are going to be stressing upon those logical understanding of the formula, because that is, if you have done that, then you will be able to answer most of the questions with ease. More importantly, ratios or ratio analysis, or what we call financial statement analysis, ratios, whatever we are going to be learning, it is not needed in the CPA, because all these formulas will also be given as an attachment in your exam. So you don't have to imagine what could be the possible formula, because formulas are very flexible. Each company uses each formula or each ratio depending upon their own internal requirement. So it is not something which is coming out of a standard or something like accounting standard that world over current ratio means this and current assets means these breakups and current liability must have these breakups. No, there is no standard governing these formulas. So it's flexible. Each book writes formulas differently. So AICPA, a simple stand, the formula will be given in the exam. That completely, does away with memorizing anything. So logic of memorizing is not there, and need for memorizing is also not there in terms of financial statement analysis. One important thing, even if you have memorized, please do not use your memory to solve. All right, please do not use your memory to solve these, because whatever you are using, if the formula as per attachment given in the exam is different, then your entire calculation will become wrong. So please do not use your mind or do not use your memory to solve any of these equations. All the answers, formulas will be given. Then we have variance analysis, another very critical, little complex, if not little more complex area where a lot of formulas are again going to be there. Here we need to know the formulas. Here we need to understand, memorize, conceptualize the formulas and see how practically they are relevant, all right, and how practically we use them. So whatever we have been doing in our BCom, MCom or in the CA syllabus, the entire CPA exam is different not in terms of the syllabus predominantly, but different in terms of how the exams are conducted, how the knowledge is being tested. That is where the difference is. Even if the chapter is very same, you will find CA exam focusing more on getting answers, getting a solution. CPA exam focusing more on what does this solution mean, what to do with this solution. So understanding wise it is different. It is more about conceptual clarity, understanding and practical application of what we have learned, rather than just getting an answer and not knowing what to do with this answer. So there is a slight difference, and I'm telling you this because that is how our focus should also be while we are studying. If you have any question at any point in time, feel free to ask your question. I'll answer them at the right time. Then we have the next chapter, chapter 4, technical accounting and reporting. Now, is it going to be again very complicated? Answer is no. This is something that somewhere, some part of it you must have studied, but broadly, little more complicated, little more complex than the previous few topics. Intangibles with indefinite lives, interesting topic. We are going to learn all of these from the CPA perspective. Not a massive syllabus, very small basic syllabus here. Then we have revenue recognition, advanced topic. Revenue recognition is an accounting standard that if you have not studied, we are going to be studying here. Very important, very beautiful accounting standard. If you are going for any interview at any point in time in the future, this is one accounting standard that is being regularly and very frequently tested by the interviewers, because this is new and this is very complex also at the same time. Then we have stock compensation, not a great confusing topic, simple topic. Business combination and consolidated financial statement. I'm sure all of you know what is CBS or CFS, and I also can visualize your hate for it. If not hate, your dislike or discomfort with it. Even if you have little discomfort with CFS, okay, not a problem. We are going to go slow. We are going to go conceptual. We are going to understand the logic. In exam, the kind of question that you will get from CFS is not going to be very advanced. It's going to be simple, not very complicated. Earlier also CFS was there, now also CFS is there, but the kind of question that comes is not very complicated, because you hardly have time in the exam and you can't dedicate next 15 minutes solving one question. No. So the kind of question is going to come is going to be very basic. Then we have consolidated financial statement, foreign currency translation adjustments. Sounds complicated. It's a very simple topic where we will talk about how do we convert a financial statement which is not denoted in dollars to a US dollar financial statement. We call it translation, and whatever difference that may come due to currency conversion, how do you account for those adjustments? Then we have derivatives and hedge accounting, something that we have studied almost all our lives. Leases, again we have a lease accounting standard in IFRS, very similar accounting standard there as well. Logic concept is very similar. Then we have segment reporting and public company reporting topics. Segment reporting, again there is a IFRS standard on segment reporting, very similar segment reporting there as well in the US GAAP. In case you have studied any of these IFRS, do not worry, whatever you have studied, almost 80 to 90% is going to remain the same in the US GAAP as well. So you know IFRS, you are going to be much better, because all these are very similar in the US GAAP as well. Then we have financial statements of employee benefits plan. Little new topic, not something that you should be worried about. So overall, yes, topic 4 or section 4 is a mix of little complex and simple areas. Then we come to the fifth and the last chapter. Like I said, government accounting was there earlier as well, now also, just that in the previous syllabus there were two big sections for governmental account. Now you are lucky because the entire two section has been reduced to just one section. You cannot get better deal than this, because government accounting is purely a new concept for all of us. But the best part is you have got 50% discount in the entire syllabus of governmental accounting. Is it the difficult part that has been continued? Answer is no. The simpler, easier part has been continued in the syllabus. The difficult, complex part has been almost reduced, or removed from your syllabus. So these are all from a government perspective. We'll be doing it for the first time, the entire governmental accounting, how it is done, what is the logic, how government accounts for its money, from where do they get money, how do they spend, what are the different laws around government accounting, because these laws are not exactly the same as IFRS or as US GAAP. But yes, you'll find a lot of reflection of IFRS US GAAP in the government accounting rules as well. So if you know IFRS US GAAP, basics of it, you'll find it interesting because they are all very similar to those rules as well. Budgetary and activity accounting, then encumbrances and other transactions topics are new. Governmental funds and financial statement, this is the same topic divided into two parts, part 1 and part 2, both are exactly the same topic. Then we have the proprietary funds financial statement, something new for you. Form and content of annual comprehensive financial statement. Remember, it's a government accounting. There's a different form. There's a different statement. Look, feel, contents of it is different than what we do in normal financial statement. Then we have government-wide financial statement and fund financial statement, because government does not have earnings. It has a fund. It maintains separate funds from the revenue collection. Then deriving government-wide financial statement and reconciliation requirement, something new. And lastly, notes and supplementary information. So this entire part is going to be purely new. Other than this, I don't see there is any part of the syllabus which is so new for you. So out of all the sections that you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is the only section which is going to be purely new and complex for you. So to ensure that your journey becomes very smooth, I will pick up one of these sections while we are continuing with the other sections, just to ensure that all of these new things we don't land up learning together and put a lot of pressure on ourselves. So one of these topics I will be taking as and when we are growing further. So it's all going to be mix and match, but don't worry, all these mixtures is only to ensure that the class remains smooth, exciting, and does not put a lot of pressure on you. That's a whole thing. Will it lead to confusion? Leave it on me. I will take care of all of that. All right. So I'm going to stop here for some time. In case you have any question, you can ask me those questions. Then I'll take you through the entire Becker LMS. What is the entire breakup, MCQ question, your task-based simulation, all that combination I'm going to take you through. Yes, over to you. Any question? Go ahead. Yes, go ahead guys, fast. Has Becker provided textbook for bar? Answer is yes. Your textbook, soft copy is always available. The hard copies have started to come, so as and when it is reaching us, we are constantly dispatching the book. Is it better to take bar exam next? Answer is that is something that you have to decide. But I would advise the moment the syllabus is over, the entire thing is over, you should be taking the exam at the earliest given time, because while we are studying, I want constant revision to be happening simultaneously so that you are ready for the exam. All right, so revision, very important, that you should be doing simultaneously. In MCQ, is there negative marking? Answer is no. There are no negative marking concept in the entire CPA exam. Is it good to take bar exam first? Answer is it's a great thing to choose. In fact, like I said, bar exam was the most of it is very similar to BEC, and if you go back to the old syllabus in CPA, BEC by default used to become the first option for the students. In other words, the first exam for the students. How much time would it take to give bar subject? I cannot give you an exact timeline, but I can tell you it depends upon the speed at which you are able to understand concept. I don't come up with a predefined timeline in my sessions, not because I cannot define this timeline, but because I don't want to rush in case you want to take some time and you want to go slow with it. So I'm little flexible, but approximately I can tell you it will take 2.5 months. In terms of your own study time, I would easily expect all of you to be devoting at least 2 hours of study time on a regular basis so that you are able to finish up while you are being taught. All right, you should be able to finish it while you are being taught rather than accumulating, piling up towards the end of the exam. So ensure that you are doing a regular disciplined study. Remember, CPA does not require rigorous hard work, it requires disciplined hard work. That's all. Disciplined hard work, that's all it requires, and take it as a challenge. The next 3 months your bar paper is going to be done. I can assure you it will be done in the next 3 months. You will be able to pass this exam beautifully in the next. Some topics is like far topics is bar covers same topics. Answer is no. There are no duplications. Whatever is covered in far are not the same topics covered in bar. Whatever was there in earlier far, those topics have been removed from the new far. So the current far syllabus is much lesser than the previous far syllabus. Can you give tips to top the bar exam? Answer is not on the first day, but yes, as we progress, I will keep telling you all this, but not on the first day. All right. So on the first day, if you want some tip, I can tell you, and it is not just for the bar exam, it applies to every other CPA exam, and that is after every lecture, ensure that you have revised the entire topic. And second thing is ensure that you do not leave test. Test is something that you should always be doing. The moment you have got some 1 hour's time, half an hour time, ensure that you spend time solving MCQs and stay away from Instagram, YouTube shorts for some time till your CPA journey comes to a successful end. All right, so spend that time in solving your MCQ questions, or download the Becker mobile application, keep it in your mobile phone. Anytime you've finished a topic, you've finished a section, ensure that you write as many tests as possible. That's the only way you can top the exam. Can you please differentiate each of the elective paper? Like I've mentioned, out of all the elective papers, bar remains one of the most preferred paper for reasons that I have told, and I'll repeat. Bar has almost 50 to 60% of the topic that we have already studied sometime in our UG and PG program. So if you are an undergraduate student, or you have passed your graduation, or you have passed your PG, MCom or MBA program, or CA Inter or CA Final, then this entire paper is not going to be something new, except the fact that chapter 5 and chapter 1, except these 2 chapters, all the other chapters are something that you must have studied sometime in life, which makes the entire topic or the subject more interesting, because it's not something new to you. But if you compare with other subjects called ISC, every chapter is going to be completely new for you. Second is for TCP, again, every chapter is going to be completely new for you. In fact, for TCP, it is very important that you have studied the regulation paper. Then the TCP paper will become much, not simpler, but a continuity will be established for TCP. If you have not studied the reg paper and if you jump into TCP, you will find it extremely difficult, because in simple words, the regulation can be called taxation and TCP can be called advanced taxation. All right. So you understand, you don't know anything about taxation and you want to study advanced taxation. It is definitely not going to be cakewalk in exam. In fact, while studying the concept also, while going through the entire subject also, you are going to find it very difficult unless you have completed the entire regulation or taxation paper. Logic, like I said, advanced taxation, TCP paper, and taxation, the reg paper. So interlinking will become difficult. Big Four, not Big Four, working professional, not a working professional, how will it be different? It does not make any difference. The difference is here. The difference is here whether you are working for Big Four or you are working for your own another company. It does not make any difference at all. Like I said from the very beginning, it is all about discipline. If you are able to dedicate 1 to 2 hours regularly, no matter how busy your days are, CPA is going to be possible in style. Possible in style. I can repeat it a million times. Entire CPA will be possible in style. Do not worry about whether you'll be able to make it to the exam, not able to. Leave it on me. I will ensure that we do it in style. All right, and I will show you how. I'll tell you one thing. After every chapter that we study, we are going to take up 10 random questions. Alright? After every chapter, module, section, whatever you want to call it, we will be taking up one small assessment. And I can promise you, you can write it down. Our target is to score 80% minimum. Minimum 80% is our target that we should be able to score in every topic. Alright. So after every topic, we are going to take up a test assessment, and our target is that we should be able to score close to 80% on those assessments. Are you open for this test? Can I have yes, no? We will be focused. We will create excitement in the subject, and 80% is our target, that every session from the very beginning, even if you know nothing about that section, after that lecture, we will be scoring 80%. I can assure you, we will not miss that target. Even if the topic is very complex, we will somewhere come closer to that target, 80%, because this is something that I have been doing, and I have always seen a consistent success in that score. Imagine you have attended one lecture. I have completed the entire subject once for you. You have not revised it at all, and we are still able to touch 80%. Don't you think with little revision, hard work, consistency, solving more and more MCQ questions, taking more and more, simulation exams at your end, don't you think you can touch easily 90, 95 and even very close to 100%? Very close to 100%. I can assure you we can all do. If by just one reading we can touch 80%, by consistent, revision and test and simulation, can it come close to 100%? Answer is yes, it is possible. I'm not making you imagine something or promising you something that we cannot do. We are capable of doing. I've done it in my entire FAR chapter. I've done it in the entire odd paper. Bar is not something different from all of these. We are going to be doing it in the class itself. All right. So that's my assurance for you. You can relax, you can feel confident, you can feel great about this journey, because this journey is going to be exciting and we are going to make it happen. I'm again going to stop for some time. In case you have any question, you can ask. Where can you find the soft copy of the book? So let me take you through the entire entire Becker portal. So this is how your Becker portal will look like. You can create your own study plan. You can sit down and create. This is a batch kind of a thing. The more you complete, the more color this batch is going to have. All right. So idea should be that you color it as much as you can. Do you require to go through every lecture? Answer is completely up to you. You want to go through, you can go through. This is a study plan here. You can create your own study plan. You can write the tentative date when you want to sit for the exam. All right. So you can fill this so that it is keeping you on track with your preparation. So you can do that. Some analysis, how much time you are studying on a Monday, on a Tuesday, all that you can fix it. Just to give you a little available tool to plan your day better. Then we have the home here. Go to the home. The entire journey is there. Schedule your exam, register. All these is there. Analytics. It will tell you what is your time you are studying and give you a analysis. This is the module here, risk management, economic activity, the first one. This is the digital book, so you can look into it, all the entire book like in a digital form. Is it the same book that you get in the printed form? Answer is yes, exactly the same book in the printed form. All right. So that is something that you will be all exposed to. You can read, underline, annotate everything you can do in this. All the options are there. Annotate, insert, whatever you want to do, you can do. Open in a new tab, all that you can do. Then you have an outline. This is a summary of the chapter. I would recommend not to read this at the very beginning, because this is going to be a very, very small summary, which is not going to give you a real picture of the chapter in case you are reading it for the first time. So do not try to read it for the first time and think you have done the chapter. It is a complete, very small summary that is not going to be useful for the exam if you are doing it for the first time. But yes, you have completed the entire chapter, you want to quickly run through the chapter, then it is something which is going to add value. Otherwise, first time reading, please refrain from doing it. All right, then we have a glossary here. What is the meaning of each terminology you want to know? So all these terminologies are all put it out put out at one location. Click on it and you will get the meaning of those terminology. So all the glossary terminologies, definitions are all given here. This is the first chapter, introduction video. You can watch this video in case you wish to watch. You don't want to watch any of the videos on Becker. It is completely up to you. You wish to watch it. You don't wish to watch, don't watch. It will not make any difference because we are going to go deeper into the subject. We are going to go little more comprehensive in our learning. All these lectures are taught in a PPT style. If you are comfortable with the PPT style of learning where summarized versions of the chapter is given, go for it. In case you want a little more detailed style of learning where we go through each line of the chapter at a length, I think then what we will be doing will be much more comprehensive. You can, in case you have not understood any particular point, any particular part of the subject, I would advise you to go through the lecture. It's quite possible that some of the topics I may teach beautifully, some of the topics the Becker faculty may have taught better than what I could have done justice to. All right, so do not refrain from watching these lectures. You can just click on it and the entire lecture is available. All right, entire lecture is available. So it is all given in a PPT format. You want to download that, make it readable, that particular section which is being taught, you can click on it. You want to read the entire PPT slides, all right, entire slides, you can read the entire slides instead of going through the video. You can read the entire slides which is being used in the video which is recorded here. All right, so all the slides, all the PPT, everything is there. You can read through the slides as well in case you are comfortable learning through slides. All right, after everything there are MCQ questions. So after you have done with this, then there are questions, MCQs. So if you go here, I have taken the first chapter, Enterprise Risk Management Framework, and here there are 9 videos here and all the timings of the videos are mentioned. Avoid watching incomplete videos. If you have started a video, ensure that you have completed that video rather than pausing it in the middle and restarting it some other time. It's going to disturb the flow. Ensure that you have watched the complete video and avoid jumping sequence unless you are quite clear that you only want this particular part of the chapter. You want to watch only that particular part of the chapter. Otherwise, avoid jumping things. Continuity breaks when you start jumping. There are 28 MCQ questions in this chapter alone, and there is one TBS. TBS means task-based simulation. What are they? They are an extension of your MCQs. Whatever you're doing in MCQ, very similar thing you do in task-based simulation also, just that becomes a little more practical way of writing an exam. All right, let me show you how does the MCQ look like. So these are the 4 options you will get. All questions in this topic. Always choose this. Unanswered or incorrect question. This is done to be chosen only when you are revising it and you want to particularly focus on question that you are going wrong with. Then marked question, you can mark some of the questions that these are important questions. I go wrong, I need to revise this question, I find it very important from exam perspective. You can mark those questions. And last one is skill builder MCQ question, which means there are pre-recorded answers for these questions. All right, so there are pre-recorded answers for this question. You have got doubt on this question, you can click on the link and you will be able to access those questions. Let's take up all questions, begin MCQs. This is how the real exam window will look like. So when you are going to write the exam, exactly like this, your real exam window will also look like. All right, all these questions will be there, all these markings will be there. You'll have calculator, spreadsheet, overview, all these are going to be there, and session are also going to be there. What you are seeing on this side is what is exclusive to Becker, which is not going to be there in the real exam. Otherwise, the interface looks very, very similar to a real exam. In fact, there you can see, here you can bookmark things, a question, you can go to another question, you can bookmark that question. Can you see a highlight on the top? So like this, a real exam window will also be there. You can bookmark questions there as well. And you can come back to all the bookmark question on the top. Click on that and you reach that question. So interface is overall 90% same like how your real exam interface is going to be with some customization on the right hand side, which is exclusive to Becker. And on the top you see something, these are little different. Otherwise, overall, even the end session button is what the real exam window will also look like. Exactly the same thing if you look at the bottom of the question here. There's a left right here, left right, so there also in the exam left right will be there, navigation will be there. You can directly hop and jump into the question. In case you have not answered any of the question, it will be in this color. In case you have answered, the color will change. All right, the color of the question on the top will change, so you will be able to see it has become little lighter color. Fine, you have answered it, it has become little lighter color. So any question that you have answered, it will become lighter in color. So in examination, before submitting the question, any window, ensure that none of the question is looking in this color, which means you have not answered that question. You may have forgotten, you have not answered, you have not chosen any option in that question. So ensure that all the colors turn different. If it is remaining in the same color and bold, then it means you have not answered that question. Will all questions will be multiple choice question? Answer is 2 windows will be for MCQs, remaining all the windows will be task based simulation. The first 2 windows will be MCQ windows. Now coming to the MCQ window and coming to the exam style and pattern, how will it look like? So let me take you through this. So remember, the entire examination is a window based examination. All right, window based examination. What does a window based examination mean? So there will be in total 5 windows, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 windows, which is uniform across all the other papers as well. All right, it is uniform across other papers as well. So in these 5 windows, the moment you have, in these 5 windows, the moment you have completed the first window, which is going to be an MCQ window, the moment you have completed this window, then you need to end session and submit. You need to submit. All right, you need to submit your paper. The moment you have submitted your paper, whatever you have done in the first window will get submitted and without any recourse option. Recourse option means, can you go back and change any question what you have done here? Answer is no. You cannot change, you cannot amend, you cannot edit, you can't reach that portion. On the top, the first testlet, second testlet, third testlet, fourth testlet and fifth testlet. Here there will be a break. All right, there will be a break of 15 minutes. You can take a break here. Can I take here break? Answer is yes, you can take break there also, but your calculator, your timing will continue to run. Your timing will continue to run if you take break here. If you take break here, then your clock will stop for 15 minutes. All right. So if you don't want to take break, you can continue. But if you take break, your clock will stop here for 15 minutes. Comfortable? You can come back in 2 minutes also and restart your exam. It is completely your choice. I recommend taking break so that the next these 2 you can peacefully sit down, relaxed. You are not in a rush. You're not thirsty. You don't have to go to loo. All that is done. You are relaxed. So I advise all of you to take this necessary break. Now, once you have completed the first testlet, this one, testlet 1, you need to submit it and then this one will get blocked. Blocked means you cannot go back to it. The window is closed. Then you will have a second testlet, testlet 2. Remember, it's a very AI based examination where how you have performed in the first test will define the quality of question, the kind of question that you will get in the second testlet. If you have answered it based on your answer, you have answered good, you have answered bad, these questions will change automatically without your knowledge. All right. So it all depends upon how you have answered this question. Based on that only the questions in that second testlet will come. If it comes very difficult, congratulations, you have done great in this test. All right, you have done better than average in this test, and that's why they want to test you deeper with your concept. So go put your best efforts in this. Don't panic. Don't think, oh my God, so difficult questions are coming. You are getting difficult questions because you have done good in the first test. You are better than the average, so you have to be pushed harder to get the best out of you. All right. If you have done extremely bad in the first test, then most likely you are going to get little simpler questions here to give you a little comfort, because it's not just MCQ where you are tested, you are also going to be tested here as well. All right. So there is a small AI logic behind the scene which is at play. Fine. You have done the second testlet, which is also going to be an MCQ based. The moment you have submitted these two, then the third test window will open. Can you go back to the second one? Answer is no. Can you go back to the first one? Answer is no. Once the third window opens, you have to, finish it. It is going to be task based. It is not going to be MCQ at all. It is purely going to be task based, which means it can be fill in the blanks. It can be match the following. It can be basis some annexures which you have to read, and based on those annexures you have to fill in certain data here, choose one of the drop down options from one of the drop down option, all these will be based on certain case details and certain attachments. Annexures will be there, annexure 1, annexure 2, annexure 3. You have to read those annexures, come up with some calculation, and then answer the question, something that we have always been doing in India. All right. What is the difference? The difference is all these, instead of being a long question paper, are going to be in digital format. All right. Instead of having an entire question placed in a paper pen format, these questions are going to be in a digital format, making it difficult. I can assure you, if the entire CPA question paper comes in a physical format, it will become 100 times more easier. 100 times more easier it will become. The only reason why CPA exam looks difficult is because we are not trained to handle digital exams, to handle question paper, reading this paper, then going to another click, opening another paper, another one, another annexure, and confusing ourselves. This is the only reason why CPA exam looks difficult. If the same question paper is given in a printed format, I can assure you, you will find it much more easier to handle than the CPA exam. All right. So once you have done this, then you will get a necessary mandatory break of 15 minutes. Please utilize this 15 minutes break. Like I said, once you come back, you will again be checked. So don't come exactly at 15 minutes. You may spend 2-3 minutes in getting checked in the Prometric Center. So ensure that you have come at least 4 or 5 minutes early. 10 minutes should be good enough for you to relax, eat something, come back. You are not allowed to open your book. You will not be allowed to have access to your mobile phone books. You will not be allowed to access. So please do not try to access, because everywhere cameras will be there. Even if you have attended a very important phone call, they may block you from re-entering the exam. So ensure that you have not done any such mistake of accessing your mobile phone, accessing your books, accessing your notebooks. You may be blocked and you have to return back from the exam. Do not do that, no matter how important that phone call may be. All right. So do that. Food, eating, everything is allowed. So after 15 minutes, come back after 10 minutes, so that 5 minutes you have relaxation time. You are checked again, and then you are allowed. Then you will be having to write these two examinations. Now, I don't want you to be rushing into all of these, because some of the sections may take, or testlet may take longer. Some of the testlets may take shorter. If you have saved lot of time in a rush, you have to only solve 2 testlets. All right. Challenge is, how much is not too much time? This is the biggest challenge. How much time should I save? I remember when I was writing my FAR exam, I finished this, and then I finished this also much early. I saved a lot of time, and then because I thought maybe next testlet will take more time for me, so let me save, let me rush. Then I thought next testlet will take a lot more time, let me rush, and I kept rushing till the last, and I realized I've finished almost 45 minutes early. All right. So later, if you have finished 45 minutes early, what can you do? You cannot do anything, because this is closed. This is closed, this is closed, this is closed. This one is the only section which is open. 45 minutes you have. What will you do? 45 minutes in one section. So whatever time you have saved, you just need to leave the exam hall, come back and, enjoy the time for yourself, because there's nothing left for you to do in the exam hall. So do not try to save a lot of time. Do not try to rush a lot. because you cannot go back to any of the question. Give time as it deserves. Give as much time as it deserves. Some of the sections may take little longer, some of the sections may take, or testlets may take much shorter time. In my opinion, MCQs will take much shorter, within 60 minutes, ideally within 60 minutes to maximum 70 minutes, your MCQ portion should be done. All right, within 60 to 70 minutes, your MCQ portion should be done. I think that's a very logical time, max to max. Sir, what is the maximum time I can take for MCQ? Not more than 80 minutes. Definitely not more than 80 minutes. Not more than 80 minutes. 90, in my opinion, still looks higher to me, but I think 80 looks fairly good to me. All right, so that's a timeline that I think looks fair. If it's a pure practical paper, lot of practical questions, lot of calculations are there, then only 90 would be recommended. Otherwise, papers like auditing, which is not having any calculation, 90 does not look justified at all. In my opinion, 70 looks very justified. If it is far, lot of calculation type of questions are there, then 90 may look justified, but otherwise 90 in my opinion does not look justified. I think 70 is a great number, 80 okay, 90 not a great number. So these two would be done. Then you have to only be doing these three papers. Should it take that long? Answer is no, it should not take that long. Now let me show you how will the how will it look like. Like I said, you can jump into any question. If you have answered anything, it will be changing color. If you have not answered, it will remain in its original color. I don't know what is this color called, but in the exam also you'll have the same color. Fine. Now, since there is no negative marking, you do not know. For example, question number 20, I do not know the right answer. What is the strategy? Strategy is very simple. Bookmark this question and put a random tick and bookmark. And in your paper, which you will be given, one piece of paper you will be given and a pencil you will be given, which will be taken back while you come out of the exam hall. So pencil will also be taken, your paper will also be taken. You will not be allowed to carry your own calculator. So you have to take calculator from the center only. Center will give a small calculator that we generally use. Now, please ensure that you have put up area in your page wherein you are writing those questions which you have randomly marked. All right, any question that you have randomly marked, write in that section random or RM, whatever you want to write, RM, and write that question 20. All right, maybe for example 25th question I did not know. I have come here and I have marked something 25th. This is also bookmarked. Why is it important that you write? Because there may be other set of questions which you have also bookmarked. Right? But here you knew the answer, but since the answer was taking lot of time or you are confused with the answer, you know A or C, one of the two is right answer, you have put a tick on C, you still want to re-look at this question in case you have time. You still want to re-look at this question, but you are confident that you know, just that you are confused. This one, you don't know the answer, you have just put a random tick. You don't know the answer, you have just put a random tick. Which one should you be coming back to review? Number A, you should be coming back, or number B, which should be your priority to come back for review, A or B? So in my opinion, B should be your priority to come back, because A anyways you did not, all right? A anyways you did not know. So A should not be your priority. B should ideally be your priority to come back. Fine. So that's why a distinction. But if you are only bookmarking, you will not know which is A, which is B. So I want you to be able to distinguish between which is A and which is B, because like I said, B should be your priority to come back because you know the answer, just that you are confused in a rush. If you are at ease, you will be able to find out which of the two is really the correct answer. But here, even if you come back, you don't know anything. So again, you are still going to guess the right answer. All right. And like I said, why is it important to mark it? Mark any question A or C or B or D. Why is it important? Because there is no negative marking. If your guess is right, you get a full marks. If your guess is wrong, still okay. But if you have kept it blank, even guesswork, you have not taken advantage of. All right. So that is how you need to do. Finish the section. Submit will come. Option 1. Again, a dialog box will come which will say, are you sure you want to submit? You have to click on yes, I want to submit, and then it will take a submission. Now, how will the MCQ look like or TBS look like? So this is how the TBS will look like. Exactly like this. Exactly like this, the TBS will look like. All right. So this is how the question will be. Like, this is one of the option you have to choose. Avoid this. One of the option you have to just click on accept. One of the option you have to choose, click on accept. Remember, whenever there are question which has one option here and one option here, both the option has to be right to get a right answer. Both the option has to be right to get a right answer. If this option is right, this option is wrong, both will become wrong. All right. So this is how it is weighted. Both the answer has to be right. If this is correct, okay, fine. This also needs to be correct. Then only it will make sense to the examiner. All right. So both the options has to be right. This is how the exhibits will look like. We call it exhibit, right? So exhibit is like a additional document which you have to go through, read the entire details, what is given. Then there is another exhibit, one more exhibit, read the entire details, what is given. And after understanding all that is given and reading everything that is written here, you have to answer the question. Like I said, if this entire paper here and these two documents was given in a printed format, trust me, it will become very, very, very easy for you to answer. Just because it comes as a digital format, when you read this, your focus is here, then you read this, then you have to close everything, then you have to open the first thing, then you want to read the second thing. Confusion. Don't worry. If you want to read the second thing, click here. If you want to read the first thing, click here, it will go above. So navigate like this. Navigate like this. Please ensure that anything which is hidden, you have read it completely. I remember many of the students coming back and complaining, and this mistake even I had done, where this entire window was not open fully. Can you see a drop down here, bar here? So like that, there will be a bar below also. If there are some data missing on the left hand side or right hand side, if some data is missing, there will be a bar below also. Most of the students forget to look at that bar. They just concentrate on this bar. They forget that down also, if bar is there, they forget. The table will be big and some data will be completely on the extreme right. You may not have scrolled till there. You have read half information, half data and given half answer. Your entire analysis will become wrong. So please ensure that you have scrolled it completely, gone deeper, and if the bar is below, you have done the left swiping of the bar, right swiping of the bar, or increase the window size and read the entire thing perfectly before you answer the question. Major mistake, I will not deny, because even I had done this mistake. Fortunately, I realized, because it was not making sense to me. The question was not making sense. I was not getting the right data. I'm like, the question looks wrong to me. It does not have that data. How do I calculate this? Where is this data? So I started worrying. I'm like, no, this question is wrong. And somehow, out of that curiosity that I had that the question is wrong, I started researching if there is something missing or there is something that I have not read. And I, kept reading it, and somehow I discovered that this bar I have not clicked on, I have not gone right, I have not gone left. And fortunately, I was able to do that in the given time and, able to save myself. You want to close everything together, you can go to here, close all exhibits will get closed. After reading all the exhibit, then you are supposed to answer. Like I said, exactly the same way your exam window will look like. 1% change is not there. 1% change is not there. Just that all these windows will be there, your calculator, your spreadsheet, all these are going to be there, and here submits will be there. Please ensure that each testlet will have multiple questions. Question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4. So you can go between the question within a testlet. So you have solved question 1, you want to go to question 2, you can go question 3, question 4, you want to come back to question 1, you can do till the time that particular testlet have been submitted. The moment you submit that testlet, then you cannot open it, you cannot come back to any question. Even if you have done mistake, forget it, relax, move on to the next one. In between a testlet, suppose your testlet is open, you have done question number 1, question number 2 is pending. Can you take a break? Can you go on a break? Impossible. You cannot go on a break. Examiner, invigilator will not allow you to go on a break. They will tell you, submit this testlet, then only you can go on a break. So in case you have got a very emergency break you need to go on, you will have to compulsorily submit the entire testlet and then go, and you cannot reopen that testlet no matter what. So ensure that you have managed it beautifully. You do not require, you do not need to go on any break in between a test. Fine. So likewise, if you look at another question here, each question if you see has a testlet here. Ensure that each of the testlet you have done. The beautiful thing here in each of the testlet, while you are solving, if you have got any doubt, there is a video section. You can submit the test here, testlet, submit it, and then you have a skill builder video. You have all the answers given. All right, all the answers are given as an explanation and all the answers are given as a video lecture. All right, so that is why we will be focusing more and more on the concept than on the testlets, because testlets are already there and all the testlets have been solved. All the testlets have been solved in Becker. You don't have to be depending on me or depending on anybody else to solve these questions. And if you see here, Becker old logo is there. Can you see here? One old logo of Becker is there here on the top. Why am I stressing on this? If you see this old logo, means these topics are not new. It was there earlier also, just that some of these topics have been moved to bar. The questions have also not changed. So whatever we were studying earlier in other topics, we are studying the same thing in this. And if you see here, BC means basically this particular area was covered in the old subject called BC. This is nothing new. All right. So like I said, most of the things covered in bar is coming from BC. Any question you have? I hope I have covered almost everything that you should be knowing. For each section, how many questions can be there? Ideally, about every subject in the CPA, there are 5, and in the 5, each testlets can have 1, 2, 3 generally 3 questions, generally 1, 2 and 3. All right, so this is generally the number of questions that you will have in each testlet. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So generally these are the number of questions that you will have in each of these testlets, in addition to the MCQ. So in the total CPA exam of how many marks? So the total marks is 100 marks and the maximum you can score is 99 marks. All right, 99 marks is the maximum that you can score in your CPA exam. Any particular date is given for the exam? Answer is there are multiple windows. Particularly optional papers have specific windows. You have to be conscious of those windows in which you can write the optional papers. Earlier there was no such a date. Any date you can write any of the exams, but now there are dates during which you can write the exam, particularly the optional, particularly the optional papers. There is a system wherein I have to admit the students, and I'm seeing some of the students are parked in the window outside. I will disable this feature so that you don't have to wait for me to accept you from entering the class. So I will disable that feature. What is the minimum marks to pass? The minimum marks to pass the exam is 75. 75 marks you should be able to score out of 100. So 75% is the minimum passing percent. Any other question, guys? If I've missed out, please let me know. So next one is the test. This is a practice test. I want you to always use this. Always use this, because this is the most important part. Always use this. You can come here, click on this, all right, click on this, and what does this say? It says that 267 MCQs are available here, and there are 4 test bank task-based simulations are available here. You can go down. You have completed the first chapter. I want you to finish all the 69 questions in this. All right, all the 69 questions. That does not mean entire 69 you need to take it together, but you should be able to take minimum of 25 questions every time. Minimum, rather I would say minimum of 20 and maximum of 25 questions. But you should be finishing entire 69 and 1 TBS. Similarly, once you have done this, go to the next one, click on the next one and check how many questions you want. How many questions? 63 questions are there. How many you want? Like I said, 20 to 25 is what I recommend. And in every test, at least take 1 TBS you should always take. So 25 questions, 1 TBS. Always keep a combination of 20 to 25 questions and 1 or 2 TBS in your test. You will get a real exam feeling, you will get a real exam experience. So ensure that you do this very, very frequently. All right. Similarly, once done, then you go to the next one and do the same thing. Once you have done for everything, then take the entire B1. All right, entire B1, it will come as a random section and then take this. All right, this is something that I want you to be following it very, very, very regularly without fail. All right, I'll be giving you the entire timetable of when each exam is conducted. You can go to AICPA website also. In the AICPA website, you will be able to find out when you will get your CPA score. So this is about when the CPA score will be. If the AICPA receives your exam data file by this date, then the score will be released by this date. Similarly, each of the deadline dates are given by which date you should be writing the exam. Right, whichever date you should be writing the exam. The entire exam is going to be for 4 hours with 15 minutes break. So the total time duration is 4 hours with 15 minutes break. So this is the exam results date that you can look at. So yes, so score release date, core section test dates. So these are the test dates for core paper, odd, far, reg. So January 10 to March 26th, core section score release date. By this date, the exam results will be released. So January 10 to March 26th, if you have written your exam, your score will be declared on June 4th. If you have written the exam between April 1st to 25th June, then your exam results will come by 31st of July. So close to 1 month it is taking. Close to 1 month or one month, some days from the last day of the exam it is taking. July 1st to September 25th, approximately 1st to November and October to December if you are writing. So I think you should be writing somewhere in this, but this is for the core paper. Let's look at the discipline paper. So these are the discipline paper, bar, ISC and TCP. We are sitting in which month? We are sitting in the end of July or early August rather, where our regular sessions will be running. So basically July and then August 1st to October. So October you can look at your exam. I would want all of you to plan October, maybe 15th, 20th, what you can look for the exam. Please ensure that you have booked your exam, you have blocked the dates for your exam, because if you have not done it, then the window is very small. All right, the window is just 30 days, 31 days window. You may not get it if you try booking this exam in the month of October. Most likely you will not, most likely. So you have to ensure that you book this exam much ahead of time. By August end you should book this exam. All right, you should book this exam. We will try to go little faster so that we are able to touch this timeline. All right, I hope all of you are with me, because if we go by the normal timeline of 2.5 months, then it will become very close to your exam dates. We'll try to go little faster so that we are able to touch this exam window. Are you with me? Can I have yes, no guys? Are you with me? Can we target this timeline? There has to be a timeline, otherwise it does not work. Can we all plan to write exam on 20th, 19th or 20th of October? 19th or 20th of October? Because if you miss this timeline, if you miss this deadline, then you are going to go to January to February. Will you remember what you have studied? Answer is, I am not sure. I am not sure if you will be able to remember what you have studied till January or till February. I doubt. So let's keep it as 19th or 20th of October. All right, and then plan. If your evaluation is not done, if evaluation is coming by September, not a problem. We can still target to book it. Maybe little struggling. If we don't get in one city, maybe we'll have to try in another city. There may be little rush to book it, but what other options do we have, right? Right? So in case your evaluation and anything is pending, then we have run out of option, right? In that case, we have to keep it at the last moment and try doing juggling between the things at the last moment. Fine. So this is what. So October 20th, let's look at the date by which we should be writing our exam. All right, fine. So that is the timeline that I want you to look at, and based on that we can plan all our course of action. So little extra work we will have to do to ensure that we are able to finish little early than this timeline. I want all of you to be focused, committed, dedicated, and ready to take off. Are you guys excited? If you book an exam date now, will it be possible to change or cancel it? Answer is yes. It is 100% possible to change it. It is 100% possible to reschedule it, but each of this rescheduling will cost some money. All right, each rescheduling will cost some money. So in case you want to reschedule, there is some amount of fees that you will have to pay for those rescheduling. All right, so keep that as an option, but only as a last option. I am very hopeful that we will be able to complete the entire syllabus in style within the defined timeline. Some special additional class, if we need to take to ensure that we stick and meet those timelines, we will certainly, you should certainly be flexible enough to be available for those additional sessions, which we will ensure that we keep it at a time that is most convenient to all of you. All right, guys. So I think I've taken you through the entire end-to-end journey. In case you have any question, you can ask me those questions, and then we will jump in and get started. All right, guys. Any more question? Any question that I missed out? Anything that you want me to answer? Yes, no? Come on. Can you give an idea on the total CPA timeline? What happens if the papers are not completed within the timeline? If the papers are not completed within the timeline, you have to rewrite that paper as if you never passed that paper. All right, as if you never passed that paper, you have to rewrite that paper. Sir, in Muscat, Oman, center is available as heard from source. Is it closed? I cannot, sitting in India, I don't think I can comment on all the centers from around the world. You have to go to Prometric Center website and check out if there is a center available in your city. In case you want the link for that, yes, the link shall be provided. Record class will be available. Answer is all the lectures will be available in the immediately in your mobile application. Next thing is, please, when you are attending the class, ensure that you are attending with your real name and not with your mobile phone name or with your iPhone name. I need to address you. I cannot call you Galaxy. I cannot call you iPhone. I cannot call you Redmi. I want to call you by your name. So please ensure that you have updated your real name that you have used to enroll with NorthStar, because otherwise the backend team may just block you from attending the class, not knowing who you are. So can we give the exam before IMA exam? Answer is yes. If you have got the provisional credit, you will be able to write the exam before even IMA exam. I can only see core papers. You have to choose your electives. And once you have chosen your elective, that elective will be frozen for you, and you cannot change your elective. So you can enable your electives as well. FAF results are already declared. You can check with the team. The certificates and everything is already getting prepared to be rolled out. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining in. I hope you have got all the clarification that you are looking at. I hope all of you have got the books, material, content, everything ready with you, and I just cannot wait for to get started with you. All right, guys, so I'll be seeing you again in the next session. Till then, if you have any question, keep them parked and we will be addressing all of it. Once we get started, there will be no looking back. We are going to spend little longer hours to ensure that we are able to meet our deadline for writing the exam. I just cannot wait to get started in this journey with all of you. Thank you so much for joining in. I'll be seeing you again in the next class, where we are going to go deeper and dive deeper into the subject, into the syllabus, and ensure that we enjoy the entire process of learning. See you again in the next class. Till then, bye-bye. Have a great day and take care. Thank you.